So my father has written me another note, and he's learned to not use my name, and because he didn't spell it correctly before, and not to threaten me. But it says, if this room is not clean, spotless, you will not come back in this house. So yeah, my father, he's a rapist. He gets to bring women home to this house. I can't believe I'm touching this. He gets to bring women home and have sex with them and rape them. My dad has been convicted of multiple rapes. And so I don't know if you can see that. I don't know. Can you see that? It says it's sex lotion. He brings multiple women home to have sex with them. And he has been convicted of multiple rapes. He was released on parole in prison, released on parole. And when he was released on parole, he assaulted me when I was laying down on the couch. And by the way, we got Mike's Hard Lemonade. I'm not really a Mike's Hard kind of person. So, and in the bedroom, there's I came with duffel bags. My father threw away all my clothing. He when I was laying down on the couch before, he assaulted me at 4:00 in the morning. I said I couldn't sleep on the couch. My grandfather's not here, but my grandfather lets him drive the car, my grandfather's car, once in a while. Otherwise, you can't see outside, and really know, but he allows people to drive onto the lawn. The grass outside's really bad. My father can once again, he has raped several women, and if I don't do exactly what he says, I get to be homeless. I have to listen to a rapist tell me where I can sleep. My grandmother did not care where I slept. I was able to sleep on the floor. My father has left a beer can on my pool table, but because of Rockford, Illinois, because the police in Rockford, Illinois are the way they are, they have allowed him to assault me and threaten me while on parole and get away with it. He tells me I have to keep my clothes hidden in the cabinet down here. These are my these are the clothes that were in the duffel bag, and this is a duffel bag that I've had. Okay. My father neglected my grandmother. My grandfather neglected my grandmother. My aunt neglected my grandmother. And so I have to clean up a bedroom that I got assaulted in. One of the police officers came into the bedroom after my grandmother got hit in the face by my grandfather. My grandfather was sitting in this chair right here, and my grandmother was over here and sitting in this chair. It had been moved. And they got in an argument about my grandmother getting mistreated, and because she had been put into the bathroom with the lights turned off. She had been put into the bathroom with the lights turned off, this bathroom. My grandfather wheeled my grandmother into this bathroom and then made her sit here. He shut off the lights and slammed the door. And I was in this room, and I came out and I said, please don't do that. Nicely. He told me if I said anything that I would go to jail. my father and my grandfather sat at the kitchen table with this knife right here, right there, and told me that if I didn't do exactly what they said, that they would most definitely lie to the police. Um, and so nobody's home right now. I have to go to work. It's 10 o'clock, but I couldn't get back here. I mean, I couldn't get a job before because I didn't have my birth certificate and social security card. Now, it's important because so much bad stuff has happened in that bedroom, and the other bedroom, meaning that the Rockford Police Department pointed their gun at my head. They hit me in the face when I was laying down. I'm sorry, they asked me to get on my belly, and so I got on my belly. Then I was handcuffed and they started hitting me in the face. And it's a really small bed, really small bed. So I was laying here 2 nights ago, and my father approached me. Father approached me really quickly at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and just like zoomed past me in this hallway, and went by. I then got the note written on the door, and once again, my father has raped my grandfather is home right now. My grandfather just got home. My father has acquired the house. My grandfather gave my grandfather gave my dad the house. My grandmother did not want my father to have the house. And so the city of Rockford is so corrupted, and these officials are so corrupted. They've let me get tortured here at this house, and I couldn't even go past this property when I came back to Rockford. I couldn't even go past this property because it was too traumatic, and I knew the only way to get over the trauma was actually just to come back and just to deal with this. My father has violated his parole. He got released from prison and wearing GPS. So I have to listen to I got punched and threatened, and he has written me multiple death threats. And I have to allow. So we are allowing a rapist to torture somebody, and we allowed him to torture somebody while he was on parole, and lie to the police. Like I said, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. My dad is bringing women home to this house where they neglected my grandmother so much that this is now her. She has now passed away. This is her urn, and I'm not going to be able to keep doing this video because my grandfather is right outside. He has came back. He has came back, and I just I've been tortured so much here that it's because of the Rockford Police Department and the city of Rockford, and so they threw away everything I owned, every article of clothing, and they have made it. They have in court decided that I do not own any of this property. So that's how. My aunt was never here for my grandmother. My other aunt was never here for my grandmother. My father was never here for my grandmother. My grandfather neglected my grandmother, and I was here day in and day out for her. I was day in and day out for her. And so I took care of her. And so they did nothing for her. And now we're allowing a rapist this rapist gets to own the entire house. This entire house he gets to own, and I have to listen to a rapist. Otherwise, I'm going to be homeless. And that was torture in itself. So this is not how this is not okay, and and we allowed him to violate his parole. Um, and the Rockford Police Department did nothing about it. I went to the state's attorney's office, and I went in there. You know what he did? Like, cause I nicely approached him, and I nicely went. I always nicely talk to people and approach them, and I knocked on the door. I mean, and I went into the office, and the person at the front desk is like, "Hold on one second." They get on the phone, and then they call a police officer from the court to come up and they escorted me out of the office. So um, I mean, I've told every official what has happened, that this problem should be dealt with, and they called the police at the courthouse to escort me out to the office that is supposed to handle this. When that knife was pulled out, and they sat at that kitchen table and said they're gonna lie. I ran over to my neighbor's house and I asked to call 911, and they said no, they weren't going to let me use the phone. And then I came back here and I got assaulted. I got assaulted before my grandmother died. I got assaulted like 7, 8, 9 times, something like that. Oh, and my grandfather grabbed my penis and spit in my face. Which is just the icing on the cake, that I have to listen to somebody who grabbed my penis and spit in my face, and somebody who said they were going to call the police and lied to the police, somebody who's a rapist, somebody who's a drug addict. By the way, my dad went to jail his entire life. That's why my grandmother and grandfather raised me. But I have to listen to a rapist who brings women home and is still raping them, somebody who's drinking, doing drugs, bringing alcohol into the house. Somebody who says I can't sleep on the couch. Somebody who's this house was my grandmother's before she passed away. She didn't mind me. She didn't mind me sleeping on the couch. I was sleeping on the floor for a while, because it was more comfortable. My bad back. And also. They stole my car keys. My aunt stole my car once, and my grandfather stole my car once, and that's just that. So like I said, every possession that I owned, they threw away. He's outside. Why is he not coming into the house right now? It's because he's outside. I guess he's blowing the leaves off the grass. Yeah, they didn't. This is so much. This is so unfair. See, I can't. I have a couple minutes. Every muscle in my body was gone, and it's still a lot of it's. I haven't gained any of my muscle back. I worked out for 3 hours a night, 5 days a week. 3 hours a night, 5 days a week, for 3 hours. My body mass was like out to here. I lost I'm not allowed to work out downstairs. I was not allowed to go and work out. I was held down by 3 police officers after doing an inspection on the roof in my front lawn. I was assaulted. I told them that he had and so I had the ladder. My grandfather helped me with the ladder. Went up to the roof. I can't say the story, but I got down. He called the. Yeah.
and you're all set.
Okay, but I'm trying to let you know that there's we have like a giant like light that would go on to like a shelving unit or something like that. And
You got a shelf, you getting downstairs.
yeah, but that light's for like a desk.
Oh, lights?
Yeah, there's a light over there, Grandpa, I only came home with like, that stuff in there is none of it's mine.
Well, it is yours.
It's not mine.
Well, you're wearing it, are you? Makes it yours.
My clothes are downstairs.
Well, you should bring them up and put
There's-
them in something.
There's no, you
He's
took all,
talking about your room.
you took all my shelving and you brought it downstairs after you threw away my clothes.
You think we're gonna go through this over and over again, aren't we?
No, it's just that note, we're
That
gonna,
don't aggravate you, okay? But he's only asked you to clean your room. I don't see anything wrong with that.
I said my clothing's downstairs, there's
He
nothing.
didn't say your clothing, he said,
That's all I have.
whatever's on the floor, make your bed. Whatever's on the floor, you run the sweeper in there, make sure there's nothing on the floor. And make your bed, and I guess you got it.
Well, right, there's, so he's. And why can't at 5 o'clock this morning, his alarm clock went off? And it just kept going on and on and on and on and on and on.
Oh, till he turned it off.
Yeah, till he turned it off. And he says that I can't sleep on the couch, but I can hear his alarm clock for an hour while he's taking a long shower. While I'm in there in that room, and I have a lot of trauma in that room. I don't really want to stay in that room because of the trauma I've had. I mean, you don't get it. Yeah, I was hit in the face by that police officer in that room.
Okay, went through that.
Well, you seem to want to neglect trauma, and then you want to so that's not okay. And he's caused more trauma. Look, man. You don't. Why do you let him drive your car?
Why are you going through this?
Because you're letting him drive your car. Is he forcing you to drive your car?
Of course not.
So you're just allowing him to drive your car?
Yeah.
So why would you let me like get in a car and drive that car around? And why'd you steal my car? Why'd you steal my car and then let you, and afterwards,
You gotta go through this every day.
why won't you let me drive your car, but you let a rapist drive your car?
If you ain't gonna say something nice, don't say
Say
it.
something nice. You know how mean you are and how mean he is. Do you know how much trauma that note is? Do you know what it's like to sleep outside and have nothing? You don't. You
Well,
don't.
enjoy what you got and
I don't want-
follow the rule.
I don't like how a rapist owns this house that my grandmother has and can write notes to me in any fashion and can hit me in the face because I slept on the couch. This is because I slept on the couch.
Ethan, you're just complaining, and every day you complain.
I'm just complaining, and every day I complain about a rapist who brings women home and rapes women and is doing drugs and drinks alcohol.
If you don't like it here, Ethan,
You're the definition.
Ethan, if you don't like it here, you can't handle it here, you know what you can do.
Yeah,
Otherwise, shut the hell up.
so you took me to Kyle.
Shut the hell up.
You took me to Kyle Cushing, the psychologist,
Yeah,
and you said I had a problem.
yes, you do, and they did too.
I have a problem.
Yeah,
Okay, you took me to Rosecrans.
you're paranoid.
I'm paranoid.
Yes, that was the,
I'm paranoid.
that was the, diagnosis, yes.
Yes, they diagnosed me. And then the police came, and pulled out their weapon and almost shot me here.
Okay, let's stop.
Okay.
Enough is enough, all right? Clean your room.
It's
If
clean.
you wanna make a room downstairs, do it. But even downstairs, you're gonna have to keep it nice, orderly.
When the basement flooded, he was throwing stuff at me.
Ethan, he wasn't throwing at you, he was throwing stuff because he was aggravated with himself.
He told me when the water was flooded that not to cut my hair downstairs. He
No, he
offset,
said when you cut
Offset.
your hair to pick it up.
and he did it when he was cleaning up the flooded basement.
Yeah, he found hair and he said next time when you cut, make sure you pick up your hair.
It's called offsetting your anger and taking the blame out on somebody else.
Ethan, you're paranoid.
I'm paranoid.
Everything is against you, everyone is against
I'm
you.
not.
Ethan, when you say everyone is against you.
I never said that.
Yeah, well, that's what you're saying. Every time you open your mouth, that's what you're saying. He drives the car, I can't drive the car. He sends notes, I don't want him to send notes. I'm the best driver in the world. And on, you're the best of everything. You're the best guitar player, the best singer, the best driver. Paranoid. You're no more than anybody else.
Okay.
But you
that's
think
not
you-
that's not
and that's
true.
paranoid.
That's what you think. You think he's the king of
You see
Scotland.
that? See, you're going?
You think he's the king
Are you jealous?
of a rapist?
Ethan, he paid his dues.
He raped multiple women.
He has paid his dues and he didn't rape multiple women.
Yes, he did, and he's
Ethan.
bringing women home now.
Yeah, they're free, white, and 21. They can do what they want.
Not even telling him he's a sex offender
Why would he say anything?
because
Because it's in the past.
he's lying about who he is first.
Ethan, you're trying to make trouble. You're trying to make trouble with him and bring.
You're allowing somebody to drink in here and do drugs in here.
You are.
He's a
trying to-
liar.
you're
He's a
trying-
liar.
You're trying to make trouble.
You're
between
sticking
me
up
and
for a
him.
rapist.
You're trying to make this a three-way thing, you know?
You're sticking up for a rapist.
I'm sticking up for me. I don't want to hear anymore.
Okay.
Now, don't ever bring it up again.
You're sticking up for a rapist.
Don't bring it up again.
That's how-
Ever. He's paid his dues. Leave him alone.
He's threatening me.
He is not threatening you.
he
He's
is-
telling you to clean your room.
He has assaulted me.
He told you to clean your room. That's what you got to
He has
do.
assaulted me when I
Make
was.
your bed, keep everything off the floor, and run the sweeper over it.
Once again,
Ethan, shut the hell up or not.
it's so wrong, so much
No, in your
torture.
mind it's wrong. Because he's asking you to do something you don't want to do.
Why do I?
You don't like to be told what to do.
I don't like.
You don't like authority.
I don't.
No, you don't.
Then how
like
come I
authority.
sat here for 3 years?
Ethan, you don't like authority.
How come I sat here for 3 years?
Ethan,
How come I helped Grandma?
Ethan,
I helped Grandma out
leave me alone.
every day.
You best shut up.
I can't even say the truth.
Either get out or shut up.
The truth.
I don't ever want to hear any more about it.
Yep. The
You
truth.
got a bed and a
I'm
house.
perfect.
That's all you're entitled to.
I'm perfect because you stole my stuff. I'm that perfect. I'm that.
You're about to be homeless.